Please subscribe the channel and don't forget to click the bell icon.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the class of biotechnology. So previously we were studying about the various methods used for the gene transfer. So the next method which we are going to study, that is the liposome mediated gene transfer. As the name indicates that this particular gene transfer method is mediated by, it is helped by, or in this method we are going to use the liposomes. So what are liposomes and why they are used, what are their advantages? So we are going to study it. So liposomes are spheres of lipids. So spheres of lipids means these are the lipid bodies. As the structure of double membrane, you know that there is a double membrane layer in the cell membrane. So same is the case here. These are the spheres of lipids. So these are not the flat structures, but they are spheres. They are in circle, which can be used to transport molecules into the cell. So remember, these are the bodies, these are the transporting bodies, and they are covered with or they are made up of lipids, and in the center of these lipid bodies there is a space in which we can load those particular molecules. For example, we have a DNA, or we have a RNA, or we have a specialized type of another molecule, and then these lipid molecules are transferred to the body, and where they get intact, they get integrated into the cells, and the gene transfer can be made sure. So it is called the liposuction. So this particular method is also called as liposuction as well. So these are artificial vesicles that can act as delivery agents for exogenous material, including the transgene. So in this particular method, as far as the method is concerned, this is artificial, so it is not the natural method, and these they can act as a delivery agent for exogenous material. So exogenous material means any type of material which we are going to inject, we are going to transfer to the living organism. So that is the exogenous material, so including the transgenes. So transgenes are also there. So they are considered as spheres of lipid bilayer surrounding the molecules to be transported and promote transport after fusing with the cell membrane. So they are considered as sphere of lipid bilayer. So their structure is same as the lipid bilayer in the cell membrane. It is surrounding, or it is in the periphery, or it is in the border, and border of the surroundings to which the molecule is transported. So it means that its structure is made up so that in the center there is a molecule which we are going to transfer, and in the periphery, in the surrounding, there are lipid bilayer which promote the transport after fusing with the cell membrane. So what it does, it fuses with the cell membrane, and then it get integrated, it get inserted into the cell, and where the transformation takes place. So cationic lipids are those having a positive charge, are used for the transfer of nucleic acid. So as far as the nature of the molecule which we are going to transfer into the cell is different, their chemical properties are different, their electrochemical properties are different. So on the basis of this, the cationic lipids are used, for example, those which are the positive charge and used for the transfer of nucleic acid. So same is the case here with another molecule. So this is the liposome. So this is the lipid body. So as you can see, here is the lipid bilayer, same, the configuration is the same as you have studied in the cellular membrane, and in the center there is a place where we can fix, or we can place our target molecule. For example, either we can insert the DNA, RNA, or siRNA, or hydrophilic drugs are also placed here, and a crystalline drug. So everything, the molecule which we are going to transfer, so it is placed here in the center, and it is surrounded by the lipid bodies. So these lipid bodies, then they will integrate, they will interact with the structure which we are going to, for example, we are going to target. Either, for example, we are going to targeting ligand is protein, so the surface molecule will be structured according to that particular condition. Either they can act as antibody, peptide, carbohydrate, small molecule as well. So this based upon the target molecule. So there are the surface conjugated drugs as well. Hydrophobic drugs can also be placed here, but mainly we are concerned with the DNA and RNA, the transgene which we are inserting in the center, and then we are transporting these liposomes into the body. So the the one information that I want to share is that the vaccines of the corona which are made now, so those are also based on these liposomes as well. So in those vaccines, there are the liposomes in which we have inserted the DNA, and then we have inserted those DNA and RNA into the human body, and then what they do, they induce or they activate the immune response, and then we get the antibodies against the corona. So these liposomes are able to interact with the negatively charged cell membrane more readily than the uncharged liposomes. So this is we are talking about the nature. So these liposomes are able to interact with the negatively charged membrane. So as far as their connection is concerned, their targeting is concerned, their interaction is concerned, they can more readily act with or interact with the negatively charged membrane more readily and then the uncharged liposomes. So with the fusion between cationic liposomes and the cell surface, resulting in the delivery of the DNA directly across the plasma membrane. So with the fusion between the cationic liposome and the cell surface, so what happens? So where they are acting, so there is a cationic liposomes, positively charged liposome, which interact with the cell surface, which so because of this interaction, the delivery of the DNA occurs across the plasma membrane, directly across the plasma membrane. So this is the form of interaction. After that, the DNA can be transferred to the cell. So cationic liposomes can be produced from a number of cationic lipids. So there are certain chemicals, by the treatment and by the use of those chemicals, we can make the cationic liposomes. So to make the cationic liposomes, mainly we use two types of molecule, DOTAP or DOTMA. So what is DOTAP? It is dioleol 3-trimethyl ammonium propane. So this is the chemical. DOTMA is also another chemical which is used to make the liposomes cationic or positively charged. So when they are positively charged, they will more interact with the plasma membrane, and they transfer our gene of interest. So these are commercially available lipids that are sold as in vitro transfecting agent as lipofaction. So these two molecules, DOTAP and DOTMA, are the cationic molecules which are commercially available, which are used in the various experiments. So liposomes for use as gene transfer vehicles are prepared by adding an appropriate mix of bilayer constituent to an aqueous solution of DNA molecule. So as if we are going to make the liposomes in the laboratory, so what we do, there is a two major constituent, the lipid bilayer and the aqueous solution, in which we can place our gene of interest. So we can make it in the DNA by combining these two types of molecules in an adequate quantity. So the liposomes are then ready to be added to the target cells, and the germline transgenic is possible with the liposome mediated gene transfer, and ES cells have been successfully transferred by the liposomes also. So there are certain types of cells which we have successfully transfected. So here we have the diagram. So as you can see, there is a lipid solution, and here we have the DNA which we are going to transfect or transfer to the cells. So when we will mix these lipid and the DNA molecule, and what we will get the liposomes. There is a lipid bilayer, and in the center of which there is a DNA or the aqueous solution. So remember, lipid bilayer, as their heads are hydrophilic and tails are hydrophobic, so due to this particular configuration, they arrange themselves according to the interaction. So in the center there is a hydrophilic condition, so their heads will be towards the center, and in the surrounding there is also hydrophilic condition, so their heads will be also towards the surrounding. So due to this particular, they arrange themselves. So this particular configuration is made by themselves, and then what we do add to the cells. And here what is the liposomes adhere to the cell surface. So here we have the nucleus, here we have the liposome bilayer fuses with the plasma membrane, and then they get integrated. DNA enters the cells, and DNA then enters the nucleus. So foreign gene is expressed then again in the cell. So this is the method of liposomes. So here are the advantages: simplicity, long-term stability, low toxicity, protection of nucleic acid from degradation. So there are major. Simplicity means, so simplicity in terms means comparative simplicity as compared to the microinjection method, or we have studied about the heat shock or electroporation. Those are the methods in which we require we require the expertise. So this is as simple method. It is long term stable, so stability is one another advantage of this particular method. It is less toxic than other methods, and it is protection, it gives protection of the nucleic acid from the degradation. So that was the liposome mediated transfection or lipofaction method. And next what we have a polyethylene glycol mediated transfection. So what it is, this method is utilized for protoplast only. So remember which method can be used for which type of experiment. For example, in the previous method which we have used, in that method, liposome method, we have transferred the DNA directly into the nucleus. But here we can utilize for protoplast only. Polyethylene glycol, it is a chemical which stimulates the endocytosis and therefore DNA uptake occurs. So here what we are using a chemical, that is the polyethylene glycol. So what it does, what is the function of polyethylene glycol? It stimulates the endocytosis, the entry of the DNA into the cells, and DNA is uptaken by the cell. So protoplasts are kept in the solution containing the polyethylene glycol, which make those cells more, we can say that more susceptible for the entry of the cells, and calcium chloride is added, and sucrose and glucose act as osmotic buffering agent. So that is not only the polyethylene glycol, we are also using the certain chemicals like the calcium chloride, sucrose and glucose, which are also acting in along with the polyethylene glycol. So PEG and divalent cations. So what are divalent cations? For example, we have the magnesium, in which the charge is 2+. So that is the divalent cation. This stabilizes the plasma membrane of the plant protoplast and rendered it permeable to naked DNA. So PEG and divalent cation, these two chemicals are these two molecules. They act and what they do, first they destabilize the plasma membrane, and the plant protoplast rendered it permeable to the naked DNA. So DNA enters the nucleus and integrates into the host genome. So first these two molecules make the DNA cell permeable for the entry of the protoplast, make permeable for the entry of the DNA, and when they enter into the DNA, it gets integrated into the host genome. So after exposure of the protoplast to exogenous DNA in presence of polyethylene glycol and another chemical, polyethylene glycol is allowed to get removed. So when the DNA, the exogenous DNA is entered, it is transferred. So what it does, the polyethylene glycol is removed. Intact surviving protoplasts are then cultured to form cells with walls and colonies in turn. So those cells which are now transfected, which has got the new gene, so now they are allowed to culture in the cell, and after several passages in selectable medium, frequency of transformation is calculated. So this is the next method. So how many cells we have got which are transfected, which have got the targeted gene? So there are certain selectable medium on which we can tell the number of cells which have got the transfection. So PEG based vesicles were less toxic and more resistant to non-specific protein absorption, making them as attractive alternative for non-viral gene delivery. As you know, there is a major method, that is the viral gene delivery, in which we are using, for example, either the bacteriophages or certain other phages which is used for the transfer of the DNA. So but this is a best alternative for non-viral delivery. So this is the method, the steps. So first what we do, the plant protoplasts are suspected to the transformation medium rich in magnesium. So this is the divalent cation, magnesium 2+. So this particular polyethylene glycol along with the magnesium ions, they are suspended, and then linearized plasmid DNA containing the gene construct is added to the protoplast suspension. So first we have added plant protoplast, in the plant protoplast there is a divalent cation along with the polyethylene glycol. Then we have added the gene, and then we have added 20% polyethylene glycol, and the pH is adjusted to 8, the pH of the culture medium. So then we have given the heat shock for 5 minutes and 45 degrees Celsius. So by this the DNA is injected, or DNA is inserted into the cell. So this is the method of polyethylene glycol mediated gene transfer, and here we have the certain advantages. For example, Regeneration of fertile plants from protoplast is a problematic for some species because of secondary metabolite accumulation or any compounds. So if we are going to regenerate a new plant from the protoplast, so it makes certain difficulties for us. So why there is a difficulties, that are because of the accumulation of secondary metabolites. So this is the one major disadvantage of polyethylene glycol mediated gene transfer. So the DNA used for transformation is also susceptible to degradation and rearrangement. So this is the another disadvantage as compared to the previous method which we have studied, that is the liposuction or the liposome mediated gene transfer. In that the gene of interest is subject to degradation, but it is very low. But here there is a more chance of degradation of our target DNA. But despite the limitation, the technique have the advantage. Protoplast can be isolated and transformed in number of plant species. So in those plant species in which we cannot use directly organelles, for example the nucleus or another organelle, so in those plants we can use the this particular these protoplasts, and it can be used for the gene transfer. So this is the another method, that is the polyethylene glycol mediated gene transfer.